Hey everyone, and welcome back. Getting small business owners excited about e-commerce, well, it can be a real challenge
It
sometimes.
can be, yeah.
It's like they're right there on the edge of this awesome opportunity,
Hmm.
but there's something holding them back. Fortunately, you sent in this text, and it outlines some really smart strategies to get them to take that leap. I mean, it's like a crash course in small business psychology.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is. And what I really like about what this text lays out is that it really focuses on education first,
Okay.
rather than just, trying to do a hard sell, right?
Mm.
It's all about becoming this kind of like trusted guide to help them see the why behind e-commerce
Yeah.
and then, you know, show them the way.
Yeah, and I like how you phrase that, show them the way, because I think for a lot of these business owners, getting online, it just feels really intimidating and scary, like they don't know what they're doing. So how do we do that? How do we help them to see that, e-commerce isn't that scary?
Well, I think it starts with trust, right?
Yeah.
Building trust. And I think one of the best ways to do that is through, offering free consultations.
Okay.
But these consultations, they're not about going in for the hard sell. It's not about that. It's more about, I think, really listening to what their needs are.
Yeah, it's like putting on your detective hat almost.
Yeah,
Figure out what's holding them back. What are their pain points?
exactly. Like, are they worried about managing inventory?
Yeah.
Are they afraid of online payments?
Yeah.
Things like that, right? And so this is where you can demonstrate that expertise, but not by bombarding them with features, but by offering solutions.
Okay, so it sounds like it's more about addressing those fears directly. Like, we hear you, we understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, one thing I like to say is show, don't tell, right?
Okay.
So, for example, imagine you're in a consultation call with somebody and, they say they're worried about building a website. They've never done that before.
Right.
Well, now is the time where you can introduce them to something like a drag and drop builder.
Yeah, those are great. Like, even I can make those look, at least halfway decent.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And you can actually walk them through it right there, show them how easy it is to build a store, without even having to look at code or anything like that.
Yeah.
And, something else that I think builds a lot of trust is case studies.
Yeah, case
Yeah.
studies. Because anybody can say that they can get results, but actually seeing it from someone else, especially someone who is in a similar situation,
Right.
that's huge.
Absolutely. But, it's important that we don't just use case studies randomly,
Ugh.
right?
Right.
I think going back to that detective work we were talking about, you want to choose case studies that speak to those concerns that they have.
Right.
So, let's say a business owner is worried about competing with, the big guys on the internet.
Right, like Amazon or something.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's when you would, use a case study of maybe a local business
Mm-hmm.
that was able to find its own niche online and be successful.
Okay, so we've got free consultations, we've got personalized solutions, and we've got case studies. So what else do we have to help educate these businesses?
So this text actually talks about two other tools, webinars and ebooks.
Okay.
And these are really powerful, not just for sharing information, but for positioning yourself, as that thought leader, that guide in the world of e-commerce, which can be pretty overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. And, not everyone learns the same way. Some people, ebooks are going to be great for them because they can work at their own pace.
Right.
But then other people are going to want that interaction, that energy that you get from a webinar.
And you're spot on. And that's why it's great to have both of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can cater to all those different types of learning. So let's say we have this small business owner who's a little bit unsure about going online.
Right.
Maybe they're a little intimidated by it all. An ebook can be great for them
Mm-hmm.
because it kind of shows them, hey, it's not as hard as you think.
Okay, so let's jump into ebooks. The text you shared, it actually lays out this really interesting way to structure them, to make them really compelling. And I think it all starts with the title.
It does.
Yeah.
The title is so important. It's the first thing they see, so you really want to grab their attention with it. Make them feel like this is going to help them get where they want to be.
Okay, so what about a title like From Brick and Mortar to Online Empire?
Of it.
A step-by-step guide.
Yes, that's perfect, right? Because it's specific, it's promising results, and it makes it feel like a journey, which it really is. But I think, where the real magic happens is in the content itself. You want to start by really painting that picture of what's possible.
Yeah, so instead of hitting them with all the tech stuff right away, we're appealing more to their dreams.
Exactly. Like, let's say you're talking to like a bakery owner.
Okay.
Instead of talking about website builders, talk about them expanding their reach beyond their neighborhood. Maybe they can even get like their grandma's secret recipe out there for cookies or
Yeah,
something.
right. Now you're speaking my language. Okay, but we also have to be realistic because even when you have all these great ideas, there's always those doubts,
Absolutely right.
those what ifs.
And this is where you address them head on. This is where all that detective work we talked about earlier comes in. You want to have a part in that ebook where you address those fears and objections.
So if we know that costs are a big concern for a lot of small businesses, maybe there's a section that's all about, exploring budget-friendly options.
Absolutely. Or let's say you encounter people who are just afraid of technology.
Oh, yeah, there are a lot of
A
those.
lot of, I could never build a website.
Right, right.
So in your ebook, you can dedicate a section to, technology made easy or something.
Mm.
Introduce them to these really easy to use platforms. Maybe even like throw in some screenshots.
Oh, screenshots.
Yeah.
That's a great idea because then they can actually see it.
Exactly. You're not asking them to imagine it. It's right there.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But we also don't want to overload them with information.
No, for sure.
It's all about taking it slow.
Yes. Break it down into those little bite-sized pieces, make it easy to follow. It's like, you're giving them a recipe.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't just give somebody a bunch of ingredients and say, good luck making a cake. You're going to break it down step by step.
Right. Yeah, it's like you're walking them through it, holding their hand every step of the way.
Exactly.
So we've walked them through the why of e-commerce. We've addressed those fears. We've given them that step by step. What's next?
Well, now it's time to, I guess you could say, shift gears a little bit.
Yeah.
From education to conversion.
No, okay, so how do we do that? How do we actually get them to take that final step?
Well, I think data is a good place to start.
Mm.
Think of your sales funnel like a roadmap.
Okay.
You've got to figure out where people are getting lost along the way. Where are those roadblocks?
So we're putting our detective hats back on.
Exactly.
Right.
But this time, we're looking at their digital footprints.
Mm.
So, are people adding things to their cart, but they're not checking out?
Mm-hmm.
Are they not opening your emails? Things like that. Those are really important clues.
Yeah, they are.
And once you have that information, then you can start testing out solutions.
Yeah.
And a really good way to do that is through something called A/B testing.
Okay, now I feel like some of our listeners might not be familiar with A/B testing.
Yeah, it sounds kind of technical, but it's actually pretty simple.
Mm.
So let's say you have a button on your website that says start your free trial,
Right.
but nobody's clicking it. With A/B testing, you would create like 2 different versions of that button. Maybe one's a different color, or maybe it says something a little bit different,
Okay.
and you show those different versions to different visitors and see which one performs better.
So it's almost like you're letting the data tell you what works best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not all about data, right?
Right.
And I think the human touch is still so important, especially when you're dealing with small businesses. That's why I love personalized follow-ups.
Oh, yeah. That's huge because it shows that you're actually listening, that you remember them.
Exactly. So, for example, if you're talking to somebody and they mention they're having trouble like keeping track of their inventory,
Okay.
then in your follow-up you could mention how your platform actually like syncs with all the popular online marketplaces, in real time.
So it's like you're saying, hey, we heard you and we have a solution for you.
Exactly. And then, sometimes a little bit of a nudge can help too. You can offer a limited time discount or maybe extend that free trial. A little bit of urgency can go a long way.
It's true. We've all been there. But beyond those discounts, what else can we do to convert those prospects?
Well, we were talking about case studies earlier, right?
Right. Yeah.
Same idea here, but instead of using them as examples, you use them for like partnerships. Find businesses, people in the industry who maybe recommend your platform. Because especially with small businesses, a recommendation from somebody they trust goes a long way.
Word of mouth. Right. Huge.
Exactly. And, while we're on that topic, referral programs are great too.
Oh, yeah,
Give your current customers a reason to tell their friends about you.
for sure.
But, there's one other thing that I think is really important, and it's often overlooked.
Okay. What is it?
You need to address those objections right away, proactively.
What do you mean?
Don't wait for them to bring it up.
Mm.
If you already know that pricing is a big concern,
Right.
put a really detailed FAQ section on your website. That breaks it all down for them.
Yeah.
If they're worried about the time commitment, you make sure you let them know that it's super easy to use, that you have support if they need it.
So we're basically just clearing the path for them, making it as easy as possible to say yes.
Yeah. Exactly. So, it's not just about selling them this platform. It's about becoming that trusted advisor. You're helping their business grow.
That's right. Well, this has been great. We've talked about everything from webinars and ebooks to data and referrals. It's a lot to take in,
It is. It's a whole new way of thinking about how we interact with small businesses.
but it's definitely worth it.
Absolutely.
Well, we hope this deep dive has given you some ideas about how to reach those businesses and turn them into long-term happy customers.
That's what it's all about.
Until next time.